Hey, it's Laurie. I just wanted to demonstrate the 4 steps for closer connection. And I wanted to use the story of my most recent conflict, very difficult conversation with my sweetheart. Backstory is we had been dating about 10 months and he was getting ready to leave the country. Sad time, he would be gone for about 3 weeks. I would miss him. And so we planned some time to get together. Both of us are very busy during the week. He lives 90 miles away, so we have the travel to consider as well. So we both agreed on a day. I took it that he would arrive certainly by 4 o'clock that afternoon. We had discussed morning, noon, afternoon, and I distinctly remember saying, "Oh, any time is okay. I'll just be glad to see you." Well, that long-awaited Sunday arrived, and he sent me a text. "Hey, it's Sunday. Looking forward to seeing you. I'll arrive around 8 p.m. When I saw that text, my whole body triggered. I knew he would be leaving soon to go out of the country, and I was eager to see him, and I wanted to spend time with him. And every female emotion in me rose up. Every resistant, defensive emotion rose up in my body. I felt angry, I felt confused, I felt discarded, I felt used, I felt betrayed. And so I picked up the phone with all that emotion flowing through me and basically said, "It's over." And I kicked him to the curb. "I'm not continuing on this. I expected you to be coming much sooner. 8 o'clock p.m. is way too late. And this is on a Sunday night. Nope, I've got to work in the morning." So we did not see each other. Needless to say, I blew him away because he could not even get a word in. All I could hear were sighs, like, how do I move forward? So, being the communication specialist I am, I sent all of that into an email and a text. Let's make sure he gets the message. I have just kicked him to the curb. If you don't respect my time, you don't get my time. Now, I had some support around that the next day. I was calm. I had met with a healing group, and I began to process what was really going on. By Tuesday, my anxiety in my body was speaking to me loud and clear and saying to me, "Laurie, you need to use what you teach and open up a difficult conversation, because it's very likely you're making some assumptions. It's very likely you're not listening to the stories you're telling yourself." And so that's what I did. I spent Tuesday afternoon feeling into my body, and it's what I teach in my my program for Closer Connection. I spent time listening to the stories that I was telling myself. And I spent time analyzing whether those stories were still true or if they were ever true. And one by one, I began to get more regulated and more balanced and more curious about what his perspective was. What was going on with my sweetheart? So I did my inner work. I reached out to him. I apologized for my overreactivity. I owned the story I was telling myself, which was clearly not true. It was a belief that I had that simply was not true. So I was able to update those parts of myself that held that belief. I was able to get in touch with what I wanted for myself from this relationship and to see if maybe we could work it out. Or if it wasn't going to work out, that we would part ways peacefully. That is always my goal, my highest integrity. I did not hear back from him right away. I grieved that. I thought, well, I was pretty reactive and I said some strong things. And I thought maybe he had blocked my text messages or my calls. So, phone call, text message, email. I reiterated all of this in an email to him. And then he got in touch with me. And his response was so beautiful and so touching. He affirmed that he did, in fact, want a relationship with me, and he did, in fact, know that that situation hurt me, that we were not clear on the time. He took responsibility for it. He said I did not owe him an apology. He owed me one, and that felt really good. Like, to be with a man who owns that, it's always good. And we started over. We know that we have enough compatibility and enough connection and enough chemistry that maybe we might be looking at a long-term relationship. It's still too young. 10 months in is still too new of a relationship. But what I'm so proud of, the work that I am bringing to you, that I am bringing to the world, is the work that heals relationships. It heals broken hearts. And right now, my sweetheart is benefiting from being with a woman who knows how to get a closer connection.